A man in Colorado was recently fined for collecting rain in 2 backyard barrels. Meanwhile, a California family discovered 28 gallons of gasoline in their garage exceeded the legal limit, resulting in a citation over exactly 3 extra gallons. Over the past 3 years, a wave of regulations has quietly restricted what citizens can legally do to prepare for emergencies. These restrictions weren't announced in press conferences. They were passed through omnibus bills that nobody read and local fire codes that nobody checked. Taking care of yourself used to be standard practice. During the Cold War, the government actively published manuals to help families build emergency stockpiles. Today, building that exact same stockpile can trigger municipal penalties. In the next 5 minutes, we're going to build an action plan. You will learn the specific legal workarounds to achieve full compliance for your emergency water and fuel storage. No matter what state you live in, before we start, a necessary note. We are not lawyers, and nothing in this video is legal advice. Laws change, and enforcement varies by county. The only person qualified to guide your specific situation is a licensed attorney in your state. Ignorance of the law is not a valid defense in a courtroom in this regulatory environment. Mastering your local municipal code is a critical survival skill. Step 1 is conducting a baseline audit of your property. Walk into your garage and look at your backyard. We need to measure what you currently store against the national fire and water limits. This chart shows the national baseline for residential fuel storage set by NFPA 30. NFPA stands for the National Fire Protection Association, which develops the fire codes adopted by most local jurisdictions for standard gasoline in approved containers. The limit is strictly capped at 25 gallons. A typical portable generator burns 1 to 2 gallons per hour under a moderate load. At 25 gallons, you have roughly 12 to 25 continuous power during a week-long outage. That supply is exhausted before the end of the first day. If you live in California, certain jurisdictions drop that portable gasoline limit down to 5 gallons. That provides enough energy to run a generator for 3 to 5 hours. This map highlights the 7 states that actively penalize you for collecting rainwater without jumping through legal hoops. Colorado enforces the most restrictive limit in the country. Senate Bill 9-8 restricts residential rainwater collection to exactly 110 gallons for a family of 4 that covers bare minimum survival needs for about 9 days. Stacking gas cans and rain barrels exposes you to major liability to secure your supplies without risking heavy fines. You have to pivot your storage strategy. Let's fix your water supply first. The law makes a critical distinction based on where the rain lands. Collecting water directly from your roof is generally permitted, but the moment that rain hits the ground and flows across your property, many states classify it as public water. You can bypass some volume limits using the registration loophole. In Utah, the standard collection limit is low, but filing a free government form registers your system with the state. This process establishes your legal right to capture and store up to 2,500 gallons of rain. If you live in a heavily restricted state, bypass amateur rain barrels completely invest in a professionally installed permitted cistern system. It requires paperwork up front, but it protects your water supply from future code enforcement. These laws were not originally written to target homeowners. They are based on Western water law, a legal framework designed in the 1800s to manage resources from massive ranches and mining companies. Today, that exact same framework is used to regulate a plastic barrel in your backyard area. Trying to hide your collection system is a failing strategy. Interacting with local permitting, approved parameters, is the only secure way to guarantee a long-term water supply. Now let's address your power strategy. Stop fighting the 25-gallon gasoline limit. The solution is to entirely pivot your emergency power tools to alternative fuels that the fire code treats differently. If a fire inspector enters your property during a routine check and discovers a gasoline hoard exceeding local limits, you're facing an immediate fire code violation. That single citation can void your homeowner's insurance, impact your property value, and threaten your legal occupancy status. Your first legal upgrade is diesel. Because diesel is less volatile than gasoline, fire codes generally allow you to store 60 to 100 gallons in approved above-ground tanks. You get a larger fuel reserve simply by changing the type of engine you run for a hike-a-pack residential solution. Transition to propane. Under NFPA 58, the fire code section specific to liquefied petroleum gases, you are legally permitted to install massive 500-gallon standard residential tanks. This diagram shows the crucial caveat for bulk propane mandatory setback distances. The code requires specific distances between a 500-gallon tank and your property lines or dwelling. You must strictly maintain these measurements during installation to remain compliant. Upgrading your fuel type allows you to bypass strict gasoline limits. It keeps your lights on for weeks without risking your home's legal occupancy status. If you're looking at rural land, the single most impactful tool available is the agricultural exemption. This classification effectively bypasses standard residential building and storage codes. The threshold to qualify is surprisingly low in many states. Owning just 3 to 5 acres with active beehives or a small functioning orchard qualifies the property for agricultural status. This strategy lives or dies on documentation. You need a paper trail. Keep your sales. Ensure your agricultural tax assessment is on file with the county to prove active production. For urban and suburban residents, the alternative is the LLC strategy. An LLC, or limited liability company, is a legal business entity. Commercial entities operate in a completely different regulatory tier than private residents, enabling access to significantly higher storage limits. This split screen illustrates the difference. A private citizen storing 40 gallons of gasoline in a residential garage commits a strict fire code violation, but an LLC holding that exact same volume as commercial inventory in a permitted facility is operating legally. The legal system evaluates the classification of the person holding the supplies, not just the supplies themselves. Repositioning your legal status acts as your strongest offense. Let's recap the strategy. You secure your water by utilizing state registry systems and permitted cisterns. You extend your power grid by upgrading to high-capacity diesel or propane. And you protect your entire supply by securing the proper agricultural or commercial legal classification. Remember that this regulatory landscape is constantly shifting. As of early 2026, state laws provide the outline, but the specific county you live in dictates the exact rules you have to follow. Storing extra food and water is only half the equation. Thorough awareness of the law is a fundamental preparedness requirement. If you want to stay ahead of these regulatory changes, hit subscribe, and for a complete 72-hour operational guide, check out the Ghost Protocol series linked in the description below. Stay informed and always stay legally prepared.